got an epiphany, and it didn't happen. They started going onto my website, copying my smoothie.
Yeah.
Every move I make, they make the same move. God is not a liar. No one knows how capable you are because no one knows you.
Right. What was like your biggest discouraging moment? The only platform on the planet where we take real stories from real people and we pair them with movies. And today we have Kalim from Juiced Up and Fit. And today he said the movie that relates to his life is Pursuit of Happyness. So for the world that don't know, how does this movie relate to your life?
From the very beginning, where Will Smith was selling that equipment.
Right.
I remember when I was I went to college. I bought $600 worth of boxes that had candies in them, like the fundraising candies.
Right.
And I was going door to door selling those candies, and like I thought it was going to be the same experience as I had in high school, where I was selling candy. But in college, like not a lot of people actually bought candy.
Wow,
which was crazy.
That's crazy.
That's what I thought. But I was carrying those boxes for a long time. I was just like, man.
You didn't eat none yourself?
And that's the thing. I don't even eat that much candy.
Right.
Or at all. And so it was like, it took me a long time to really sell those. So that was like, man, that's something that is relatable. But just all of the things that happened to him in the movie, even going into the finance industry, that's an industry that I went into as well, thinking that was going to be what my passion was, actually, because I've always liked numbers. I like the stock market, all the things. So I ended up working for Raymond James Financial as an intern, actually, and then from there they hired me on to being an office manager and essentially a financial advisor. And I took the Series 7, the Series 66s, and all that. And just like him, I was going to school, working obviously, and doing side hustles all the time just to make ends meet. My mom and I and my sister were always working. We come from a working family, an immigrant family, and we just, that whole this work ethic, persistence, and just being resilient is what is relatable to me.
Right.
So.
Okay. And he had a lot of bumps in the road, a lot of hardships along the way. At any point in time, because you have your own business, what was like your biggest discouraging moment? It may not be as bad as his, or it may be worse, because he was in the bathroom with his son.
Oh man,
Yeah,
being with a kid it gives you a different strength, I believe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, for me, I have challenges every day. Just business in general is always fluctuating as far as revenue, like sales, stuff like that. But I think one of the biggest challenges was when my generator, just already having my business. Well, let me not go that far into the business. Actually, even before I started my business, I was working as an office manager, and management there wasn't the best, and they didn't have any people skills. So the turnover in that office specifically was really fast.
Right.
And I came to the point where I figured out that they were just not, why they didn't keep people, and I myself quit. And then I started working for LA Fitness, and at LA Fitness, I was making the bare minimum. Like I wasn't, I was a salesperson, working all day. But I got an epiphany about opening up a juice bar at that specific location because they didn't have one, and it didn't happen. But I was at my lowest, I would say, because I had just bought my F-150. My house, I had just bought my house too, so I wasn't making any money,
right,
or as much as I was used to. So I needed to find a way, and my biggest strength was God. Like I spoke to him every day to guide me, to just show me the way.
Right.
You know, and like I was like on Craigslist on the daily, just checking for food trucks and like, you know, trying to find if I can even afford one, because I really couldn't, to be honest. And I found this person who was selling a used trailer, beat up. He wanted $5,000 for it. I went to check it out. I didn't have the money, so I don't know what I was thinking.
Right.
So I just went, you know, spoke to him or whatever, and he's like, "Look, this trailer is not going to pass inspection, but there's a local manufacturer in Montebello. Go speak to him and see what he tells you." And I said, "Okay, cool. Let me, you know, let me find out. Like, let me just do some research." That's all I was doing. I went to the local manufacturer. The guy was like, "Yeah, I saw the trailer. I need to break it all down, build you a new one, so might as well just buy a new one." I said, "Well, how much will that cost me?" Did a little sketch, you know, asked me what the business was, this and that, blueprint. He's like, "It'll cost you 45." And I told him I don't have that kind of money. Like, well, is there any financing? Like, well, how can you help me? Like, I really want to own a business, like have my own business.
Right.
He's like, "Look, we'll take 30% down, and then you can pay off a little bit at a time until we turn this thing in, because it'll take us about a year to get it done." So I was like, "All right, cool. Well, I don't have that money, but I remember I had this one credit card, American Express, that had $10,000 in it, and that was literally the 30% that they wanted from that from the food truck, or the 10%. I don't know what the math is. Yeah, about 10%." And he goes, "Well, we take Amex." You know what I mean? I said, "Scare money don't make money."
Right.
So I swiped that card, and that was the best investment I've ever made.
Wow.
Like, throughout the months, I was just trying to find another job, you know, hustling here. I've always been a hustler. I've always been selling anything. You know what I mean? Like, I can sell anything, honestly.
Right.
So I got a job, a 9 to 5, well-paying, you know, good wage or whatever. Started paying this thing off. 9 months, 2 months later, I was like, "Yeah, your truck is ready." And from there, it's just like, okay, so what's next?
Right.
You know, I didn't have a clue how people just park and pull up and just get clientele.
Right.
Like, I don't know how people do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I still don't, but I guess, again, God was guiding me. And I grew up in Linwood, and so I had no business being in LA, let alone Culver City.
Right.
So it was like the traffic, it was just too much. So then I was in Cerritos. I remember I parked next to a gym. They kicked me out. I parked at the Southgate Park. They kicked me out.
Wow.
Everywhere I was going, it was a challenge. It was like, man, like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, I now have this business, this food truck. Like, and so, I don't remember how I got on the 405, and I ended up on La Cienega in Obama. Right. Not Obama, before it was like Rodeo.
Okay.
And like, and I got lost, and I ended up at the Culver City stairs, where you guys met me. And I parked, opened up the awnings with one smoothie. And at that time, it was called a Very Berry.
Wow.
People started just walking up, and they were like, they loved it, this and that, and we just started returning. Park ranger comes like, "You have a permit?" I said, "No, I have the LA permit." They're like, "Oh no, you need one for Culver City." Move. I was like, "Let me see. Well, where do I get it from?" I went to City Hall, applied, got the permit, continue to come. Then the next challenge, the other food truck that's there has the same concept. I didn't know they existed. They didn't know I existed. Right. So on a weekend comes, bam, I'm there. Bam, they're there.
Right.
So, you know, I have, like I said, a hustler mentality. So I'm, you know, passing out samples, driving foot traffic to my food truck, this and that. So they start noticing. And then they start hating.
Right.
They put their truck right against my door so I wouldn't come in. They start, you know, like doing all the things. Talking shit about my food truck. There was another challenge. Then it just built up. From there, they started going onto my website, copying my smoothies, mimicking it. Like, that green truck wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was another truck that they had, a smaller one. But after the pandemic, there was another challenge as well. When the pandemic hit, because I got my food truck in 2019. On March 2019, March 2020, the pandemic hit.
Right.
I was blessed to not have opened a juice bar at the gym because all the gyms closed.
Right.
But now I had a mobile food truck at the Culver City stairs. Everyone was walking to the Culver City stairs to get a workout. It was outdoor. We were there. So those other people came from the location that they were at to the Culver City stairs on the daily because they were only there on the weekends.
Right.
It was us that was there daily.
Oh, okay.
And so again, like they started copying my stuff or whatever. They got so good that they built that green truck and they literally mimicked all my stuff. The taste may not be there, but if people don't know any better, if you taste that one, they're still pretty good because it's my shit.
Right.
But once you go to my truck, they're like, okay, I can taste the difference.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. They're blessed with that one spot. So that's a challenge on the daily now. You get me? Because every move I make, they make the same move. You get me? So when now I'm in a position where I'm just like, okay, I know God wants me here because of all the things that I've been through. There's no reason why I should not overcome these challenges.
Right.
So now I'm talking to God. As a matter of fact, I reached out to my pastor yesterday. She's my neighbor. And we were just talking. We were just like, hey, you know what? Like, how you doing? This and that. Teach me how to speak to God. And she goes, well, you need to learn the word. She says, if you don't know the word, you cannot use that against him. You have to hold him accountable because God is not a liar. And if you said, okay, I'm supposed to be here and you need to show me the way of how I'm going to be successful, then use the word so he can tell you how to use it against him, basically.
Right.
So that's a challenge on the daily now. And obviously looking for now new business for this food truck. Right. Because I want to scale. You know what I mean? Once this food truck is established, I'm looking for my third food truck and doing the same thing, the same pyramid, doing events and attending clients in corporate offices and stuff like that. So that's kind of like where my head is at right now. Olympics are around the corner. You know what I mean? 2028. What's the other one? The World Cup next year. It's literally down the street. Oh, okay. Because what do you call it? The stadium is right here.
Oh, okay.
The LAFC and the Coliseum.
Right.
It's like 2 blocks down, 3 blocks down. You know what I mean? So like I'm already like envisioning that.
Right. Wow. Every step of the way, I'm hearing the way your path relates to Chris Gardner's is that even at the point where something wasn't working, immediately you guys was able to pick up what does work then.
Yes.
And get to the next step. And if you get some pushback on that next step, you figure out what works. That's the growth mindset that both you guys had. One thing with him as well, it's like his business made his relationship that much harder. Did your journey of what you was trying to build, chase your dream, did that affect your relationship?
Yes. At that time, because I have a vision and the other person did not, it's like you feel like you're dragging this person with you as opposed to running together.
Right.
So it got to the point where going into my business and just like, figuring out, okay, well, you are not able to keep a consistent job, which is fine. Let me then focus on building the business, but you take care of it. I'll work the 9 to 5 where I'm getting paid well. You take care of this business so I don't have to pay an employee, and then I'll feed it, financially, and we can just grow from there. But the vision wasn't there. It was a lot of like complaining, a lot of like, mistrust and distrust, and you know what I mean? It was just, so it got to the point that I was like, you know what? I think we're going at a different pace. Right. And I feel like I'm dragging you rather than you running with me. And it's just best that we just call it quits. Right. And compared to Will Smith's character, his girlfriend or wife basically cut the relationship because she couldn't take it anymore. Right. It's stressful. I see it.
Right.
You know, but I also feel like she didn't see the vision.
Exactly.
You know, if she would have seen the vision, like, and again, it's understandable. Like, you know, she's like, okay, well, the first vision didn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we were stuck with these machines for ages.
Right.
But yeah, you have to have someone next to you that has the vision and is willing to go through those tribulations and get through that to be able to like run together.
Right. Yeah, because he did what he did for them.
Right.
So at least some understanding should have been there. But once again, like you said, it's understandable why she couldn't take it. She couldn't bear it no more.
Right.
Because every time they look up, it's always something. But some people get easier opportunities than other people.
Yeah.
Even though her job wasn't paying well, she still had a job.
Yeah.
You know. But for him, doesn't mean just because you got one that he was able to get one. Like he said before the office even opened, I got 3 calls lined up. Like he going harder than you, but it's just not panning out for him. Like you said, God had a different plan. So what's a overall lesson, though, because there's so many in there that you can take from the movie that you apply in your life today?
I like the line where he says, don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it.
Right.
Because remember the kid was playing
With
basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he goes, not even me. And that's the biggest lesson I take to the heart. And I feel like everyone should take that advice, because no one knows how capable you are, because no one knows you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know you better than anyone knows you. Right?
Right.
So if someone tells you, you know, you can't do this or you can do, don't let anyone tell you that.
Right.
Because so many times when I had a 9 to 5 and I was with my food truck, or I was doing some personal training, or I was selling candy or whatever, oh, you're taking on too much. I was like, just because you can't do it doesn't mean that I can't.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
You know what I mean? Like, and even if I couldn't do it, at least I tried and know I couldn't do it. Exactly. You know what I mean? So just recently, I started working out. A new friend of mine, and guy's fit. I don't even have a 6-pack. He has chisel. We're going on the Culver City stairs. I'm running those motherfuckers like 90-degree weather. I'm not thinking about like, oh, it's 90 degrees and I'm running the stairs. I'm like, this is just what I do. This is how I work out. Right. You know what I mean? Like he has a resistance band against my waist, and I'm pulling him up, like, you know, to build resistance. Right. And again, I'm not thinking about that, but I'm saying all that to say, he texted me later, it's like, your training is insane, because you're doing this and that. I'm like, oh, I didn't think of it. I'm just doing it. Right. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I just do. Yeah. And I don't think about consequences later, but you know what I mean? Like, I think about like, oh, that shit is actually it's not an average thing. I'm not an average person. Right. You get what I'm saying? So that's one of the takeaways for me. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. Right. Not even yourself. Exactly. Try it. Right. Exactly. It's easier said than done, but you have to start saying it to yourself more and more, because when you're above average, therefore a lot of stuff you're doing is going to be unpopular, because the popular stuff is right there in the middle. But when you're not normal, it's like, that's when it gets lonely as you start climbing. That's where I was going. Yeah. This is the loneliest I felt in my life. Like, I just lost a friend, and I don't even know over what. You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, so we just not talk. Right. And I was like, all right, cool. Then, you know, like, as I continue to have like a different mindset, a different perspective, and all that stuff, I'm just like, wow, I literally cannot reach out to anybody and be like, hey, you know, your mom's always gonna be there. You know what I mean? For sure. But you know what I mean? Right. Like, definitely. Yo. Yeah. And another thing, a lesson I learned from Eric Gardner that I take with me, and everybody else should watch the movie and see it. When he was going for that stock opportunity, that job, he stayed in their face. At any time he would have let up, they would have forgot about him. Right. You ain't the only one trying to do this. You ain't the only one that wanted bad. Show me that you want it better than everybody here, and that you deserve to be here. Right. And he stayed in their face. He did everything he could. And that's one thing, too, about struggling. It makes you creative and resourceful. Oh my God.
He was creative, and he stayed in their face. And every chance he got, he impressed them more and more and more and more, up until the end. And he never gave up. He went to jail, had to run from the jail.
That was yeah.
Lost the shoe, like and all he did was like be honest, but he showed up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like show up. Like don't sit behind Instagram all day. Get out there in the world and show up each and every day.
And that's one of the reasons why and fit is part of my brand, Juiced Up and Fit, because there's not a lot of juice bars that incorporate fitness with nutrition. It's either you have a juice bar and then you have a gym. For me, it's both. They go hand in hand. If I'm going to train, my nutrition has to match my training. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like now we're incorporating I'm the creative. I'm elevating. You know, there's a lot of competition at the stairs, and I love it because I'm a competitive person. So now I'm incorporating detox juices, 7-day detox that includes a meal plan. Let's see, nutrition and then a workout plan is going to come next.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? So I'm going to build on that.
Okay.
And it's a membership now. So now it's $99 a month, once a week, every month. You get your new set of 14 juices and your new set of meal plan. You know what I mean? And then you can use that for life. Every time even when I was a personal trainer, I would let my clients know all the things that I'm teaching you. It's not just a 7-day, a 30-day, whatever, a year, a 6 month. It's for life. You learn this for life. Your body's never going to change. No one's body anatomy is never going to change. You're still going to squat. You're still going to push. You're still going to pull. You're still going to do all, press. So remember that and then build your own, like the Rolodex of workouts.
Right.
The same thing with nutrition. It's never going to change. You still need vitamins. You still need minerals, fiber, protein. You name it. You get me? It's never going to change.
Right.
Food is always going to be there.
That's great. And what's the 3-year vision from right now?
3 years, retired.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 39 this year. At 41, I really want to see this as a franchise. I want hands off. I just want to make sure that we get everything is aligned with my vision. I have my little Zoom calls or whatever from the Bahamas.
Right.
Okay, is everything good? Is my checkbook good?
Right.
But that's essentially, and I might be joking, but to some extent, that's what I want to do.
Right.
Like 3 more years, I want my business to run on its own. I want people who are working with Juiced Up to own their own food truck. I'm not hiring employees. I'm hiring owners.
Right.
Because an owner is going to take care of the business more than an employee.
Right.
If you know your goal, if it fits with you, and you're working for Juiced Up, and inside of you, like, man, I can be a potential owner, or like I'm going to be an owner, like you're going to be more dedicated. You know what I mean?
Right, for sure.
So, and if your money is on the line, you're going to be 100 times more dedicated.
Right.
So that's how I envision people who are working for Juiced Up to own their own food truck as well.
Okay, that's great. And tell the people how can they find you?
At the Culver City stairs.
Okay.
Our Instagram is juiced_upaf. Our website juicedupaf.com. But if you do go to the Culver City stairs, there's 2 food trucks. We're always parked in front of the green one. So it hides our little truck. It's all white at the moment because it's not wrapped, but it will be with our new logo. You'll see Juiced Up and Fit.
And he gave me a sample of the watermelon sea moss. It tasted way more organic than the one I just bought. But the way they position themselves, they got me first. So.
Oh yeah, that was you. But he had the courage to walk over.
He passed me up, But
and he tried the pineapple mango.
But if he would never did that, we would never linked up and made this happen. But I appreciate you.
Likewise. Man,
y'all heard it here. Kalim, Juiced Up and Fitness. Don't forget it. Another movie, knocked down, another seed planted. Till next time. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Last of a dying seed. It's time to plant some new ones. Every seed that we planted bore some rotten fruit. The baby boomers sold crack just to cop a coupe. They taught us slide and shoot, judge hangers with the noose. Never show no mercy on your ops, never call a truce. Big bruh said you could be a pimp. All you gotta do is have her mind and you could lead the bitch. Brainwashed by the six, but then with self-imposed limitations. Trying to hit this home run before we load the bases.